In this breaking story, Donald Trump is already regretting addressing the nation in what can only be described as an unhinged Christmas speech. That's right, over the past couple days, Trump has been quite mysterious about this speech he has planned that he's going to be addressing the nation. A lot of people speculated it might have something to do with Venezuela. No, instead it was just Trump giving himself an ego boost again, because nothing spells confidence in your policies like hosting a party where you can talk about how successful you are. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avalone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, Donald Trump is instantly regretting this, and there's a good reason why. It's because already his lies are being called out repeatedly. But before we get to the lies getting debunked, let's first just take a look at how unhinged this event was. A lot of this was just Trump rambling on and on.
Driving up housing costs was the colossal border invasion. We have never been invaded. This is the worst thing that, frankly, in my opinion, the worst thing that the Biden administration did to our country is
That clip was only 15 seconds, and I lost 15 brain cells in the process of watching it. And of course, we can't forget Biden bingo. Donald Trump, of course, kicked his speech off with a pathetic cope, basically just pointing the finger. Trump promised he was going to fix things on day one. Seriously?
Good evening, America. 11 months ago, I inherited a mess, and I'm fixing it. This is what the Biden administration allowed to happen to our country, and it can never be allowed to happen again.
Yeah, Trump, that's really funny. Nobody believes you. No one. Oh, but don't worry, Trump did try to gaslight everyone into believing that everything's fine before wishing us all a Merry Christmas.
More fitting tribute to this epic milestone than to complete the comeback of America that began just 1 year ago. When the world looks at us next year, let them see a nation that is loyal to its citizens, faithful to its workers, confident to its identity, certain to its destiny, and the envy of the entire globe. We are respected again like we have never been respected before. To each and every one of you, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless you all.
Oh, and remember, parents, you better get fewer dolls this year thanks to Trump's policies. So now that we've seen some bits and pieces of this absolute fever dream, now we get to how Trump is regretting this. That's right. Trump is being fact-checked and called out on his lies repeatedly all over the media. Take a look.
But first, I just want to quickly fact check just a few. I mean, there were so many in there. We were working as quickly as we could. But just a few of the president's most blatant falsehoods. Tonight, Trump announced checks for $1,776 for U.S. troops. First of all, Congress controls the power of the purse in the country, not the president. So if that happens, that is Congress sending those checks, even if Trump puts his name on them. But that number, $1,776, is also kind of interesting, because an analysis from the Yale Budget Lab estimates that as of November, Trump tariffs have cost Americans an average of $1,700 per household this year. Trump also claimed that when he took office, inflation was the worst in 48 years. That's not true. The truth is that inflation had been declining from its peak of 7% during the pandemic. But since Trump took office, it has basically flatlined at 3%. It was 3% in January, and it's 3% today. In his campaign, Trump also claimed he would end inflation on day one. Now, just last week, the chair of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, said that, quote, inflation remains somewhat elevated. There you go. Trump said he's working to bring grocery prices down. Now, just this week, this is where it gets awkward for him, Trump's own agriculture department released a report showing that food prices are rising faster than inflation. And everybody, by the way, is living that at grocery stores. Trump also claimed that he's brought gas prices down to $1.99 a gallon. The national average for a gallon of gasoline was $3.11 when Trump took office. The national average today per AAA is $2.91. That is just a little taste and flavor, and I'm sure you all have your own lists at home. Again, just a short list.
Mind you, not even conservatives were impressed. Matt Walsh, an absolute Trump suck-up, even posted that it was basically just a waste of time.
So many of these claims have been debunked so many times. For example, the president said inflation is stopped. As Harry pointed out, it's not stopped. It's 3%. In fact, September, that 3% rate was the fifth consecutive month inflation had increased. The president also said that he inherited the worst inflation. He said some might say in the history of the country. Again, he inherited 3% inflation in January. Even the 9.1% peak of the Biden era in June 2022 was about a 40-year high, not a 48-year high, nowhere close to the all-time high of more than 23%. He spoke of cutting prescription drug prices by 400 to 600%. Those figures are mathematically impossible. If you cut it by more than 100%, people would get paid to get their medications, which of course is not happening. He said the price of eggs has fallen, which is true, but then he said everything else is falling rapidly. Everything else is not falling rapidly. In fact, even on groceries in particular, far more products have increased in price this term than have decreased. He said again, he secured $18 trillion in investment this year. That number is total fiction. Even the White House website uses a figure of $9.6 trillion. And my detailed review found that that figure is a wild exaggeration, accounting vague promises, vague not even promises, and so on. He spoke of some states hitting $1.99 for gas. The lowest state average today is closer to $2.40. About 100 stations out of about 150,000 stations are below $2, according to the firm Gas Buddy. He also talked about immigration, made false claims there, saying that an army of 25 million people invaded the country under President Biden. Leaving aside this army rhetoric, the number was not even close to 25 million. It was under 11 million, and that counts millions of people who were rapidly expelled from the country. Crime was nowhere close to record high under President Biden. He has not settled, President Trump has not settled 8 wars. That list includes various wars, various situations that were not even wars, and some conflicts that have not actually been resolved. I could go on. I don't have time.
Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.